in the house, and is the most dangerous vector of diseases. It transmits diseases from the rotten areas. It is called in science as a mechanical vector. So it carries an infection from the area where it gets to individual or a person, or to infect the food. It is called a mechanical vector because the virus or the bacteria or the pathogen itself does not grow from it. It only transmits it from one point to the other. So tonight we are going to dwell in housefly control. So what I encourage you is to subscribe to the channel. Let's do subscription, and we encourage others also to join in and to listen to these messages. When you subscribe, it means you're pushing this message to another platform. So we say a housefly is in color, and it has wings. House a fly. Is they are common in damp areas. And we're discussing its control. These houseflies feed by what we call spongy method, because their mouth parts are shaped in the way that it looks like an inverted funnel. So the housefly typically by what we call sponge method. And this sponge method, it is proboscis, and always feeds on areas which are wet. So these wet areas, and there should be areas of secretions, like in latrines, in the animal feces, in garbage. Remember, the of 24 hours. It takes a period of 24 hours for a maggot to develop from an egg. So when a maggot develops from an egg, it's able to feed on a fecal matter. So a fecal matter is either feces, or in the damp area which is rotten, or from a dead animal, or from a latrine, the excreta or the feces, or from the abattoir, the blood that comes out when the animal is slaughtered. So how do we control the houseflies? Houseflies are controlled. One, you have to be clean, the sanitation first of all. Make sure all the containers that you have are clean from this rotten matter. Maybe from the leftover food, from the dust of maybe when we talk about the sprinkle of blood. Maybe if you have bought meat, and the meat is sprinkled on the floor. So you make sure that you clean, because for them they're attracted by the smell. So houseflies, when they're attracted by those smells, they are able to move to your place. And remember, when they come, they carry what we call the bacteria in them, because they have the fur, the feather, the fur in their bodies. That fur is able to carry the bacteria from the source. If it is from the latrine, it's able to carry up to the house. And from those houses, they can move around. They can move around while spreading the infection. They move around the food. They move around the water jerry cans. They move around the cups. They move around the plates. So houseflies step almost every place. When you want to see them, you will see them in a kitchen, because they are what we call leftover foods. You have the troughs there for garbage. You have water, because for them they feed on liquid substances. So those liquid substances are the ones that attract them most. So when you are doing prevention method, make sure first of all the best thing is to make the place dry. That's the first best thing. Make the place dry. Second thing is to see that all places where the breathing can be possible, like the rotten matter, the tree stems, the abattoir points, the latrines are covered. And to control the housefly, make sure the latrines are always having lids, and those lids should be covered after use of what? These latrines. Still, the fly itself is easier to control in the latrines because all flies are attracted to what we call light. So that's why they always feed daytime. They're attracted to the light. So take for example, you have milk, and milk is a very good reflector of light. So milk is white. So when you expose milk to a certain point, flies are able to see the milk because it is white, because for them they're attracted to light, and they're able to move and drop in milk. That's why you see, if you expose milk for a long time, flies are able to be full in that milk for a short period of time because they are attracted by the light. So to control them, that's why you find that in all latrines you have to provide what you call a vent pipe. These vent pipes are used to take the light deeper inside the latrine. So when the flies see the light, they will move towards the light, and in so doing, they get what we call a screen on top, and they are prevented from escaping outside. When they get prevented from escaping outside, it means that one will die within the vent pipe. That's why vent pipes are very good in the latrine. Then cover lids. Cover lids prevent them from entering the latrine. You find all the house flies will not enter into the latrine because you have the cover lid. That cover lid will remain there sealed. Then covers in the garbage. The cover lids in the garbage areas. To make sure all these containers that you collect for garbage, you provide them with a lid so that you seal, you prevent flies from entering inside. When these things are open, flies are able to get their food from there. Remember, if they are able to get the food from there, it means they are able to move very fast from all different directions to come and feast. Remember, they are attracted by carbon dioxide, the carbon that those food release, the rotten matter. So they are attracted by that carbon, and the flies will now move very fast to those the rotten matter. So all the rotten matter, if you have a dead pet, a dog, or even a chicken has died in your home, make sure you have a disposal area whereby you dispose the things and cover them. So if you cannot them, then you better bury, because if you bury it, then flies will have no point of entering into that and manifesting it. Remember, if they are able to access any rotten matter, they are able to lay eggs in it. And when they lay eggs in the rotten matter, this simply means the eggs are going to hatch. But the period of hatching is between 10 to 15 days. Those eggs are able to hatch, and even the maggots are able to move to other places. Remember the maggots, those maggots that you see in the latrines or in any other rotten matter. Those maggots are able to move to almost 100 feet away from where it was living. So to control them through killing the maggots is really difficult, because if there is a rotten matter in one place, they are able to live there for a short period of time. When those maggots reach the pupillary size, they move from there a very far distance. That's where they will go and grow to become a housefly. So houseflies is really very difficult to control them. But for you to manage to control them, make sure the places are not damped. They are not wet, so that they are not able to feed, because for them they feed on liquid material. They don't feed on hard material like the salty matter. They don't feed on salty matter. But I encourage you people to subscribe this channel, get this message. These are health messages that we always give every week. So when you're offline, you can be able to get the notification. So I encourage you to press subscribe, it is on your right hand. You press subscribe so that these messages you will be able to get them when we load them. You get a notification and you will hear them after you have got time to listen to them. So they will come direct to your notification and you will be able to see them. So we said houseflies, for them, they grow very fast. So when they grow very fast, they are able to spread fast from their source of breathing. The source of breathing, we say the rotten matter. Rotten matter can be in your latrine, can be in your garbage, it can be dead animals, can be in a farm where cows are kept. Remember, when you're keeping cows, the cows drop what we call cow dung, and cow dung is another good breeding place for houseflies. That's why you see when you go near the herdsmen, where the herdsmen live, you find there are a lot of flies in the area. Ask yourself, why are there a lot of flies in this area? Not because they are attracted to milk, it is because the feces, the cow dung, is a good breeding place. That's where they lay their eggs and their young ones grow from there. And when they grow from there, they are able to pupate. When they pupate, they turn to become houseflies. So when you have cows, make sure you regularly remove the cow dung and put it in a composite. The compost, you make a compost by yourself, a compost pit. That composite pit will help you to reduce the number of houseflies disturbing you in your home. And remember, the houseflies, because of the nature of their feeding, they are able to carry bacteria from the source where they landed to the house. That's why it is one of the most infectious insects to human being. How it is a housefly, because it's able to transmit a lot of diseases like typhoid, dysentery, diarrhea. You have conjunctivitis, you have trachoma. All those bacteria, those diseases are carried by houseflies, including hepatitis. Houseflies are the ones that carry the pathogen. So those pathogens, when you really cut off your communication with the housefly, it simply means you are safe from the infection. Another way you can prevent them from entering your house, make sure that you have a screen. A screen is these small wires that they put on the windows, even on the doors. They make them in a way that when you're entering in, you are able to lock it and it's able to bring you light inside. So those screens there are very good because they repel out, or they don't allow these houseflies to enter. So those things are very good when you're building a house. Make sure that you put a screen on the door and a screen on the window. They are able to help you to reduce the manifestation of the houseflies. So those manifestations, or the entries of houseflies inside your house, if you really work well on the sanitation level, maintaining the hygiene, make sure every container is dry, make sure all the rotten matter are not there in your compound. The cow dung is always kept in a composite so that you reduce their breathing. It is easy to reduce the number of houseflies, and it's easy to control the infections. The infection, once the infection occurs, it is really very difficult to. It's very difficult to treat the infection other than preventing. That's why they say prevention is better than cure. So when you're preventing, it is easy for you to work on putting a screen on your door and the windows, even the ventilators. It is easy for you to provide a lid for your latrine. It's easy for you to collect the cow dung and put it somewhere, to put a vent pipe in your latrine. All those things are easy to do, but when you get infections like the typhoid, it is very, very expensive to treat. Account number. It's really very difficult to treat. So a moment. Yeah, what is it?
0789. 0789.
Bongo.
0789.
Mm.
56.
Mhm.
59.
Mhm.
06.
Bekorea kwa namba breaking. Bunto ngajeta betu simu.
Now we still hands.
Binyon.
Eddie post. La 5,000.
Aba masibe sorry.
A number. Eh.
Ala mtu ko yala berjay darakin. Darai ni moti. Na ko panji kapo. Tiri tiri tiri. So we're talking about the housefly manifestation. We talked of the damp areas that it enters and gets it is food. So we have the methods of control like trapping methods. Provide the dead pet. So you can sprinkle the glue all around that rotten matter, so that when they come and they land on the rotten matter, they are able to scroll and the glue catches them. That's another way you can get rid of flies. So when the flies are available in the restaurant, remember most restaurants they always wash their plates outside. They have a lot of leftover foods. So all these leftovers, if there is not trust, the container that used for putting these leftover foods, you'll find that there will be a lot of manifestation of these house flies, and it's really very difficult to control because the house flies, for them, they move from one area to another. They are not flies which live in a most localized area. But if you want to notice where they sleep, it is always near their feed. Near their feed, like if they are feeding on the latrine. In fact, you will find most of the houseflies resting near the latrine. When they are feasting near the kitchen, you'll find them resting near the kitchen, always in thin lines. So those thin lines can be either electrical cables, they can be these other ropes that you tie around. It can be on the timber, can be on the cracks along the wall. All these points that these ninis live in. Yeah, that right. Yeah. So the common houseflies has always two wings, and its legs are made of a certain sticky substance. This sticky substance makes it to be able to crawl along the surfaces. Yeah, the surfaces can be along the wall, along the mirrors, along the windows, on the ground. It has a stick substance on its feet that is making it to be able to crawl across the wall. So it is an insect that cannot fall down because of gravity, because it crawls along the wall because of the sticky substance that it has. So insects, this insect is a disease-causing insect. It is behaviors. It is always social to humans. It visits humans always, and sometimes can feed on the eyes. It feeds on the mouth. All open parts. The open parts which are watery, these insects feeds on. As long as the place is watery, it is able to land in. After landing in, it is able to suck. This method of sucking is what we call regurgitation. It is able to vomit out its saliva. It makes that place wet. Then it's able to suck its food. So that system of sucking in that way is enabling that insect to feed easily. That's why it visits always wet areas. When you're eating, maybe in the plates, after eating or before eating, it visits because it needs to suck that sap from the plate. So that sap alone is able to make it satisfied. It doesn't feed on solid objects. It flies at a very high speed, so it can be here. Then shortest time it will go to your neighbor. After that, it visits to another rotten matter. It goes to another house. It rests on the house. So simply, this insect is really very difficult to control naturally. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I hope some of you have subscribed. I thank my friends from Philippines. I thank my friends from India. I'm seeing them online. Thank you very much for your subscription. Thank you for being a viewer.